VideoHelp, we're going to cover the property owner expense report. The expense report actually is created in some respects in the property information screen. You do not create the record in the report. The report is a result of activity that has gone on for that particular piece of property. Now, if you're looking at the report right now, you can see that there are a couple of different charges in here for this one property. Now, what I've done is I pre-selected, I did a find on the owner ID so that I can see the properties for that particular owner. I could carry that one more and I could take the property IDs for different reports. Now, normally what happens when you create a report, it usually is for a residence or a property that you're looking at. So in this case, if I'm doing a report for individual pieces of property for an owner, I would generate a report for each one. And what that would do is it would summarize the information for the individual records for charges for the items that were charged against that report. For example, this one is a yard cleaning, this one's a home inspection. And what it would do is it would summarize each record and then subtotal down here, and then a grand total at the very bottom for that particular piece of property. Now, you do have the option, if you want to look to the build to, in this case, and put the build to or the build for and look up either certain kinds of things for the build for or the build to person if you want to generate a report by only the build to person. In this case, if it were the manager or the owner, then that's what would be in here, and I could look at all those for that piece of property. Or I can get really specific and I can say I want a date range and I want to look at everything that happened within a date range. Now, one of the things I'm going to show you here is that on the support site, I'm going to flip over there, on the support site, when you're on any of the screens there, you'll see that there's one set of drop downs here where it comes down and says how to use a database. And in that particular screen, there are a series of different options as far as looking for information as far as running the reports. And I'll scroll down here and show you that there are a list of different things in here that will explain how to use the database. And then in addition to that, tips on using a database. Now, you can hear my things as I enter the site, and it's identifying the chat information. And then there's these videos. These videos are very, very helpful in providing information for you to use the things like setting up a search or a find, and things about FMGO if you want to know about that. There's a number of different things in here that are very valuable for you to know about. All you need to do is to click on the little video icon at the edge of the screen, and then it'll go ahead and run those for you. And it explains how to use certain things in this application. Now, going back to the actual report itself, you'll note that if you're doing a date range, you can use the video to tell you how to do it, but I'm going to also show you that in order to do a date range, you would click into the field. Once you're in the field, you're going to go ahead and use what looks like this. It's a greater than or equal to, and then you're going to put a date. Then you're going to do another less than or equal to and put another date. Everything in that date range from the 11th, say, to the 30th of the month would be included in the report here. So when you do the find, that's what will be showing up in that particular area. Now, I'm doing this in the live mode. I'm not in find, so I have to take this back out, but I just want to show you that's how you do this in the actual date field when you're in the find mode. That will produce the report that you're looking for as far as the dates are concerned. Anytime you do a find in this screen or any report, you need to go back up to the do action and run the report, because when you do a find, the headers are going to go away, and so, these dark blue and the lighter blue fields will disappear, and also the summary totals will disappear. You would click the run report, and what it would do is regenerate the report with all the information on it. So it's very important to do that. And then when you get all done, you want to go ahead and click back in here and say show all. And what the show all does when you rerun the report is it brings all the records back into view so that you're not missing any data. Because when you go to do a find or you want to just cruise through the records to see information, you're going to need to show all the records. Now, as you can see here, what it did is it summarized all the records in the current selection. That's not going to give you an accurate report unless you're doing it by, say, for example, either the manage by or the build to. That way you would know for that particular time period, if you do a date range, that's the information for that date range for this build to person or the owner themselves. So if you have any questions about this particular aspect of the reporting and how to run it, please contact me so I can walk you through any questions you might have. Thank you.